Revolution began in the 1760s.
Before this, people back then mostly worked by hand or had small shops. It changed the way that products are made and the way that machines worked. However, manufacturing worked very differently. But before the Industrial Revolution, there were not many factories. Factories were particularly non-existent because there were no machines to put in them during this time period.
During the time period, products were exclusively made by hand.
This process of making everything by hand took a very long time and resulted in imperfected and sometimes messed up products. Also, making certain products without machines resulted in many injuries due to unsafe working and conditions.
What was work like before the Industrial Revolution?
Well, it was a lot different from today, that's for sure. We had to make everything by hand just because they didn't have factories back then.
During the Industrial Revolution, machines have been used in different and important ways back in the olden days, during the 19th to the 20th centuries. The scientific method is basically used to optimize production. Newtonian mechanics was basically allowed for breakthroughs, electric motors, communication, technology, and transportation systems.
How did Newtonian mechanics help modern transportation during the Industrial Revolution?
Well, the Newtonian mechanics allowed the engineers to use a special method to optimize products. After the revolution, the world changed rapidly. Factories began to appear and across the city, and machines could now make products and items. Before factories, most of the products were handmade. It took days or even weeks to produce.
But factories' machines were speeding up the process, allowed companies to make large amounts of products each day.
Even though factories helped the economy grow, there were still very dangerous working conditions. And back then, a lot of children worked in factories.
So workers had long hours and low pay. It was basically unsafe.
The new systems was called mass production. It helped many jobs like railroads. And also steam engines also made transportation much more faster.
What were the most dangerous aspects of working with the new machineries in the 19th century factories?
It was very fast-paced, fast-moving. I think the part that was most concerning is that there were a lot of parts sticking out, so much that you could hurt yourself or another coworker if you didn't do your job perfectly, and in some situations that did happen.
Even though the Industrial Revolution was about 2.5 centuries ago, it still affects us today. Now, everyone is used to things like clothing and toys being quickly made by machines and shipped to them by trucks and boats. People these days can't even imagine what life would look like without machines. This privilege is now seen as a necessary thing to living life, and many people often take that for granted. Now, factories and machines can help transport products to people so they don't have to do them themselves by hand.
I feel like people don't really appreciate the things they have anymore. They just don't really care. Machines help us transport lots of things like products and stuff like that. So they don't really need to do stuff by themselves or by hand because the machines and factories do it for them.